Hello YouTube, this is that Yi guy. I was just in the middle of editing my next guide and this popped up, so I wanted to make a video covering it because a lot of people are freaking out about certain part of the March update, and I will quickly go over the other part as well as show you the pictures I found for the armors and things like that. So the March update just got released, and right now we're gonna see that at 1100 gear score we can have access to different quests, and once that's done we can go access different islands. So this should be coming out tomorrow, so I'm very excited. And who knows, maybe the islands will have excellent rewards. I did some research. I talked to Korean, Russian friends. Nobody knows the exact list of rewards, so we're gonna have to wait to find out. Arcadia Grand Prix. Will be a 7v7, or almost a Mario Kart style tournament of 7v7. Have two teams. People are gonna be racing to the goal and eating cakes. So this is exciting. They didn't say anything about whether or not there will be rewards, but this should be a lot of fun. And Competitive Proving Ground Season 1, this is the PvP update with matchmaking, with the elo, with the rewards. So players will be able to queue solo for the team deathmatch mode, and as you win or lose, you're going to have an average score, so you can kind of tell if you're improving. So this is very exciting for people who are into PvP. Now the next part mentioned is the new skins. They are the Omen skin collection, and they're available in exchange for royal crystals. So I'm guessing because they're for royal crystals, they should be tradable in-game auction houses. This is the one for warrior, so it should be for all the warrior classes. The base models should all be wearing something like this. And warrior, magician, assassin, so this looks really cool. It's not the skimpy cosplay outfits that typically people associate with skins. This is just the very edgy, very spiky, demonic looking outfits. So aside from just having these armors, the weapons also look really cool. So I play a berserker, so that greatsword looks mighty fine right there. And there's the different fists, different weapons. That harp looks amazing. And then you have all these other weapons. The range weapons look great as well. We are also getting new login bonuses, so these are gonna be great. There's 25 login bonuses, 10, 15, 20 days for extra bonuses. Now for Argos. This is the part that got a lot of people worked up on the forums and things like that. And because they're releasing it, and Argos is going to be an 8-man raid that's weekly, and people are able to collect rewards if they defeat it. And everyone's kind of freaking out right now because they don't have the item level to do Argos. And in my next video that I'm editing right now, you can see that I have Adobe Premiere open. I'm actually editing it because I have been doing the math on the in-game progression, and I've been trying to do the math on how much it will cost. So I wanted to take a moment to kind of talk to people who are willing to listen and try to tell you that it's okay to not have access to this right now, and I'm going to tell you why. A quick background on myself. I actually specialize in behavioral economics. I got degrees in economics and psychology. So I'm the type of person that potentially a game company will hire to make something as predatory as possible, to make it as manipulative, addictive as possible, because that is my specialty. But that's not what I chose to do with my education. And because of that, I kind of want to warn people about the one thing that you probably already heard of. It's called FOMO, the fear of missing out. And that's what a lot of, if you play phone games that are very predatory, very addictive, that's the one thing they use to really get you to spend more money than you want to, get you to be addicted and like kind of in an unhealthy way. But FOMO is what people now are using to kind of get you to clickbait, to kind of get you to get addicted to certain games, because that's how clickbait works because of FOMO. Why do you see so many videos with this is insane, and they don't tell you what they're talking about? and then they have so many views. They have hundreds of thousands of views. Or the video that says, you are missing out, or do this. Or they're going to say, the best of this, even though it's actually not the best. But they don't really care because that works because of FOMO. Because no one wants to potentially miss out and be regretful that they missed out. That's how FOMO works. It's like, oh, I'm going to click on this link even though they gave me no information. And if you've seen my previous videos, I mentioned that I always try to give you in my title what the video is about. And that's precisely to not exploit and abuse FOMO. Because if you know in the title what the information is, you're not going to be afraid of missing out. You will only watch it if you need it or potentially need the information. So I want to let people know that this is the thing, and you're going to see YouTubers who are saying, oh, Argos is the best. Argos is the true end game. It's like, you guys are missing out by not being here. People on the forums are going to be like, I'm missing out so hard. This is destroying my enjoyment of the game. And I don't blame them, because that is the kind of atmosphere in the gaming nowadays. It's just that people think that they need to be there. They're being left behind. And that's the thought that FOMO really preys on. That everyone's having fun in Argos. You're not. I just wanted to kind of talk about this because I think you're going to enjoy Lost Ark more. I think you're going to enjoy gaming in general a lot more if we can learn to see past this FOMO and learn to see past this. For me, I'm not 1370. If I want to, I could really try really hard to grind. I have incentive to get there fast because I'm trying to create content, right? And if I want to really, for the success of this YouTube channel, I should be swiping my credit card. I should be pushing really hard to 1370 and then I should be putting out videos talking about how great Argos rate is. I should be trying to make people feel like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out, so I have to live vicariously through watching this video of Argos. No, just take a step back, take a deep breath. We're gonna all have access to it later. Another way we can look at this, I think will be healthier, is that eventually they're gonna come out with a honing rate increase. That's something we've known for a while. I did the math on the honing rate increase that they will implement that's similar to Russian and Korean. And the rate increase is going to make it half as hard as it is now to get from 1300s to 1370. So what that means is that because it's half as hard or even a little bit less, it's going to be really beneficial to just wait. Look at it this way. Say if we need to spend 30 days of grinding, 30 days of material on ourselves to get to 1370 naturally, we could just sell all these things, and eventually we only need to, after the change, we only need 15 days of grind. So say they change the honing rate in a month. That's just hypothetically. Instead of getting it there, if we just really hard grinded it, we'll get it in 1 month. Or we'll get there in 1 month and 15 days. So really, you're not behind a month by not pushing it right now. You're only behind 15 days. So the gap is much smaller than the amount of time we invest into it. So really, you don't have to rush. The later you try to push for something, the easier, the less days it takes to push for something. So people who get the progress with the least time, money, everything investment are actually people who are willing to be patient. And that's what I'm trying to urge right now, is that let's be patient. It's okay to not have access to the absolute end game. And here's another secret. The people who I know, I've talked to a lot of my Russian and Korean and like the hardcore grinders and the people who have already played the super high-end content in other servers. They are playing the Western release now. They rushed to 1370 almost immediately. They're the first people to get there. And you want to know what they tell me? Is that in terms of just raids, in terms of just the Abyss dungeons that they have access to and no one else has access to, for them, it is underwhelming because for them, they're just using the Abyss dungeon to farm gear for Abyss dungeon. They're not really working towards anything. And then now they're kind of disappointed because they are a month ahead of everyone else, sort of, technically. Realistically, they're only about a couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks ahead of everyone else. But because they are already at the top, there's nothing for them to strive for. So they enjoy the actual in-game content a lot less. Think about how much more excited you will be if you get the gear that can potentially in the future help you against Argos. If you get a perfect piece of gear that makes you much stronger in the future, you're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be fun using this later on this harder boss. But right now, if you already buy your way there, there's nothing for you to strive for. And I promise you, if you get a job, if you get an improvement, it's going to be much less rewarding. So sorry if that was a very long rant, and it's probably doesn't fit the theme of my channel, but I wanted to kind of have this heart to heart and kind of just talk to people about this, because I think this is hurting a lot of people's enjoyment of the game, to not think about it in the terms of like, you're not actually being left behind. You're not getting left behind. If you don't click a pro tip that someone puts out, you're not actually never going to recover from your account will recover. Your account will be fine. People have been playing this game for how many years now? 7 years. And there are people who are diehard day one players. The game is fun. There's a lot of content. So you're not going to be left behind. And meanwhile, my recommendation, even if you don't watch my next analysis video that's coming out today, is that just sell your materials, use your untradeable materials, farm your leaf stones, and just have enough leaf stones ready for when you want to go and push all the way to 1370. So yep, that pretty much covers it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Next video out will be an analysis of 1340 to 1370, and as well as the in-game tips for tier 3. And then after that, there's going to be a video out on the ships, so where I break down the comparison between all the ships and give my recommendations. And after that, I'm going to break down supposedly the best ship in the game, Astray, in greater details. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.